And here we see, dear viewers, the mighty elephant and its natural predator, javelinman, in its natural habitat. As you can see, despite being an animal of the savannah, they do not seem to be doing well in the woods, especially when they have been impaled by around a few hundred javelins. How fascinating. Hello everybody and welcome to the battle of the week. And today we have a very special battle. This is going to be the first battle of the open beta. And this time we have got a lot of elephants that are really a problem. And today we are also going to demonstrate how to deal with them, their weaknesses, strengths, but most importantly, have some fun. So today I'm joined by my friends Hell Sun Tzu and Sun Tzu Dark Dust, as well as Wasabi Addict, who is in our group. So we have this very nice group of merry men, so to speak. But without further ado, let's continue and see what the battle brings. So first we have our architect. He's setting up in these woods, but I'm also curious on what our opponent is up to. So let's turn off the fog of war and see what's up. Oh, it looks like the red team also has some artillery, in fact more artillery than we've got. But with the latest changes to the light artillery, it's been pretty interesting. I'm quite happy that the developers took... I don't know if it was my advice, if they have heard it or not, but I'm quite happy with these changes to the light artillery and the heavy artillery. In fact, you know, it's not exactly what I had suggested. I was suggested for a complete removal of the heavy ones, but, you know, if they're nerfed into obscurity. But anyway, we have these cavalry moving towards... I was first thinking they might be scouting, but no! This cavalry is dead set on killing these slingers with no remorse. Oh, and they have activated their Oath of Perseverance. Lord Commander Guts, just very fitting his name, goes into a suicidal charge. But unlike Guts, he is not faring very well. He does some pretty decent damage though, I'll give him that much. But not exactly a move that I would do. Our architect, the blue team's architect, he is moving forward and still is shooting their arrows. Just look at this mess. Oh, and we've got some the big elephants in the room coming in. So now let's analyze the situation. We have the middle that has been completely bombed by these smoke bombs that deal periodic damage as well as morale damage. This area that has allowed the red team to charge in. And now the tier 6 elephants coming in. However, we have got 2 javelins and 3 archers coming in. Under normal circumstances, if they had engaged us over here, they might have won, but they would still lose a lot of their men. However, on the north, they have captured it and are moving towards middle. So the only thing the blue team can do, they have been outmaneuvered, is to move into the woods. So first, we've got our first few shots on the elephants. Elephants going through the smoke. The men in the middle are fighting bravely, but they have to retreat. So the first caltrops have went down. Oh, there's some archer on archer action going on here, which is very important. The archers, their top priority is taking out other archers for the late game. Because of their infinite ammo, they're able to do damage without receiving any, and Elephant knows this. But what Elephant does not realize is that in the woods, their speed is reduced by 40%. 40% reduction added with the missile hit, speed debuff, reduces their speed by 50%, while the speed of these javelin men is reduced by 10%. So making the elephants quite a big of a target. Even for these architecti who are able to put some great distance over here. But let's take a look at what's going on in the north. The red team is not capitalizing very well on their strategic position where they have captured the north. They could have pushed towards the middle. They could have pushed towards the flag to see our forces in the swamp. And if they did, they would have seen these archers over here. But the biggest problem is that these elephants have overextended. Overextension is the #1 cause of death of the YOLO chargers and in pub games. A lot of people do it usually without even realizing, thinking they're too strong or just not caring. I have done it myself without even realizing, and next thing you know, you're completely surrounded. Even your high tier units will not be able to save you. So let's see what happens here. There is also, yeah, one thing to remember is that elephants attack in a frontal cone, meaning if you can avoid that frontal cone, you will not receive any damage. So the javelins, while they do some decent damage over here, as you can see, thanks to the speed debuff is the reason this is happening. So the Libyan recruits have been following those elephants. However, we were supported by Wasabi Addicts as pikemen, who are just impaling these men. Just look at this. It's a lot of impalement going on. These archers are shooting against these elephants, but they've got so much health. The red team could have capitalized on that and just annihilated everything, but they're not able to do that. The Sun Tzu is cleaning up the enemy archers and their undefended artillery, or barely defended artillery. Punic mercenaries are not heavy infantry, so they are not able to deal with the enemy cavalry. However, the red team has established a very strong position over here. However, they have to push their advantage because their allies have been outmaneuvered. They have divided their forces. In fact, let's take a look. They have abandoned their artillery position, which was right here, and I think it was a bad idea to position here because it's right on the blue team's warpath. And instead, over here would have been better. They could have retreated over here, and it's a very easily defensible position. They have set up an encampment zone over here. However, there is nobody around. If that's the case, you are losing time, and time is essential. So right now, by doing this, the blue team is occupying 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 units. 9 units, that's 3 players. 1/3 of the enemy team is currently being occupied and useless, while the blue team is taking out their players. These units are not doing anything, which is a very important tactic in the tournament. Play just buying time for your team to accomplish their main goals. So we've got a few sacrifices over here. You know, after all, it's a pub game. Let's speed things up. And it looks like they have decided to go back to their base to defend them. They have realized the situation with the power bar, and so they are retreating back to their base. They had a very strong archer advantage. If they could capitalize on it, ooh, they would have been unstoppable. But instead they get charged by these wounded cavalry. Oh, but they notice way too late. They get charged again, and the blue team is attacking as a unified front. That's why the groups are important. It allows you to attack as a unified front against your enemies, allowing you to use your strongest units against whatever the enemy is weak to. And cover your weaknesses. Capitalize on your strengths and cover your weaknesses. Now we have these pikemen going on. Alright, it looks like the base is being captured. These slingers have been a little lazy, but they have been capturing the space, so it is something. The battle has been won for the blue team. And so that was that. I hope you have enjoyed our first battle with elephants. And we hope to see you next time.